What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Hustle and Flowchart podcast with your boys, Matt Wolf and Joe Fear. In your opinion, what do you think is the sort of best way to organically get followers? You know, how do you sort of prime that pump so that people start finding you?
Yeah, so it comes with a very high level first. You have to think about strategy. Like, what is the goal of your business, and what is the thing that you're going to serve up consistently that your audience will appreciate and want to come back for? And so when I say that, the riches are in the niches. So you are a podcaster and you have a unique podcast. So who exactly are you talking to? And when you know who that audience is, you create content that will serve that audience well. And a lot of podcasters struggle with this. One of my students in my Ready, Set, Graham Pro program is a podcaster. Her name is Katie Brinkley, Next Step Social on Instagram. And she does a beautiful job at utilizing the features on Instagram. When I say that, I mean, there's so many features in all of the 5 I call Subi neighborhoods: feed, stories, IGTV, live, and reels. And Katie creates content in all of these neighborhoods, but she also utilizes the carousel post in the feed really strategically. Nobody cares that you're interviewing a guest like me. They care about you. They're following you. So putting a picture of you and the guest in your feed is not relevant to your followers. What's relevant are the sound bites of what they're hearing that's going to help them. So you're better off creating a carousel post with, again, what's in it for them. If they listen to this episode, what is one of the sound bites that they can hear that takes them to want to tap to the carousel and maybe get a quote from the guest? Like, you know, the quote is a good thing, and maybe a few more nuggets that will entice them to want to go and listen to the whole episode, subscribe to the podcast, and give it a review, because ultimately that's what you all want. But it's not about the people that you're interviewing. And typically most podcasters do that.
Yeah. Well, I think our approach when we interview people on the podcast, part of the approach of, you know, sharing images of, you know, maybe us with the guest or and that sort of thing is the ability to tag that guest, and ideally they'll then turn around and reshare it, and we can ideally capture a little sliver of their audience by doing so. So is that
so I never share in my story like that, because we have a content plan for the day, for the week. We do share in my Facebook group where I have 3,000 subscribers, and I know they need to learn more and listen, and there are podcasters. So we share on our agenda, not the podcaster's agenda. Often they're like, here's a link, and here's the graphics I did, and here's this, and will you share it there? And we just don't, because we give our list what our list wants, which is not necessarily the same agenda. However, occasionally we will round up several of the interviews that I did and create a story for people to listen to. But honestly, we want to take them to our YouTube channel and grow our subscriber list, and not rant, you know, all these podcasters. And now they're going to subscribe to podcasters, and now they're going to go down rabbit holes, and now we've lost them. Yeah. So we don't want to lose our audience. So I personally don't do that, but maybe it's because I'm at a different level. And I don't say this with any braggadocious attitude. It's just like our strategies are so set as a team. We do have wiggle room when the world changes and news pops up, but we just have our own content strategy agenda, and we stick to that because that's what we know our audience wants.
We get it, because I mean we're marketers first before podcasters, and everything's email marketing for us, and we have a full plan, and then we get someone that's like, hey, promote our stuff. It's like, cool, it's not that easy to just throw your stuff in the middle of this whole content plan that we have.
And if I was talking obviously on Clubhouse to a group of podcasters about Instagram, I would reference your podcast, you know. And I am such a connector. I mean, I live to connect. It is the essence of who I am. And Instagram allows you to do that very, very easily by mentioning and easily sharing links and sharing content. So, I'm very strategic with every move I make all over the internet.
So You brought up the point that I find Instagram the most interesting, and I just haven't figured out the right streamlined process, but is engaging with folks and actually starting this conversation. When I was doing some research about you, I know hashtags is a big piece there. And I believe you say something like, those are perfect conversation starters. And it's not like you have to like really do the tagging. You can just hang out in the hashtag, whatever that area is called. Would you suggest that kind of as like a starting point?
I always suggest understanding where are the conversations that your audience is hanging out. And you can either do market research to look and find the ones making it to the top of hashtags that align with your audience, and knowing what those audiences are. So for example, I live in Boston. So Boston business women, if I wanted to do networking events locally, there is a conversation hub for every hashtag. And if the conversation does not align with your business or your values or your interests or your audience, you shouldn't be using that hashtag.